2019 Pacific Nations Cup, featuring the Kingdom of Tonga and Canada in the playoff for 5th and 6th. As you could imagine, in one of the beautiful parts of the world, at 29 degrees with only a minimal wind, a little bit of cloud over the top. It's very good conditions. What we expect to be a significant game. USA, Fiji and Tonga in Pool A, with USA and Japan to play off tomorrow for the overall championship title, and of course Japan, Samoa and Canada. So this playoff for 5th and 6th featuring Tonga and Canada as both teams prepare for Rugby World Cup 2019. Stephen Bates is in co-commentary.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. Welcome in. You can see, not a massive crowd here at the moment, but they're building, middle of the afternoon. So they'll come. It's very hot. You can see they're all in the shade as we see the Tongan team. They'll be looking for their first victory of the season. Building, plenty of changes for them, and building also, as we all know, they've got the World Cup later on this year. So be exciting times for them. Everyone gets an opportunity in the first few games to see what they can produce.
Yeah, lost 17-25 to Samoa in very challenging conditions up here, and then they lost to Japan in Hanazono last weekend, 41 points to 7. And the Tongan team will start Whanunu, Nauamo and Halanuka in the front row. Fifita and Lausi, a couple of big locks. Mafia Lokatui and Kapeli, the loose forward trio. Takalua and Whaiva will play together in the halves. Piuto, the captain, and Hingano in the midfield. Lolahia and Pakalani will play on the wings, and the outstanding Tavita Halai Whanua will once again wear the 15 jersey. The head coach, a legend of world rugby, former Wallaby international and Tongan, Tautai Kefu.
Reserves for Tonga, 16 Elvis Tayoni, 17 Latu Talakai, 18 Ben Tamaipuna, 19 Sione Vailanu, 20 Ben Whairafa, 21 Leon
For the Canadian
Fuka, 22
team, they lost to the USA in the USA, 19 points to 47, and they lost last weekend 38-13 to Fiji. They were second in this competition 2014, third in 2013, and they participated also in 2016.
We'll look at the Canadian side, and Coach Kingsley Jones has made plenty of changes. Once again, let's start in the front row. Sears Dudu, Howard and Turney will be your front rowers. Shepherd and Olmsted are your two locks. Campbell and Rumble are your loose forwards, and Captain Tyler Ardron is back in the number 8 position. New halves combination of Mack and McRory will be your halves. Hearn and Lessage will be your midfield, and Jeff Hasler showed enough last week against Fiji to say if he gets plenty of ball, he'll be dangerous.
It's a beautiful part of the world, Latoka in Fiji. And the Fijian national team have played a number of international games. Siale Piuto in the middle of your screen, the captain, Tyler Ardron. In a wonderful year for the Chiefs in New Zealand in Super Rugby in 2019. Tyler Ardron, where he played principally as a lock and sometime loose forward. Also played at Lakefield, Bay of Plenty and Ospreys. Siale Piuto leads the Tongan team out, test number 36. For Piuto, normally a centre, today will play second 5'8". Tonga in Pool C of the Rugby World Cup play again in New Zealand on the 31st of August in the Pacifica Challenge competition involving Samoa, Tonga, Fiji and the New Zealand Heartland 15 in their preparation for the World Cup. Canada will be in Pool B in Japan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem of the two countries. First, the national anthem of Tonga, and soon after that, the national anthem for Canada. And the national anthems will be sung by Lindia Taukafa. First for Canada. Please remain standing for the national anthem of Tonga. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Lindia Taukafa, and of course the two teams at Tonga and Canada.
And now the Kingdom of Tonga share some of their culture with the world wherever you're watching. Pacific nations, they're here in Fiji or around the world. We have seen some wonderful football over the course of this competition.
Yeah, we certainly have, and this is something I really enjoy as well. Just a little bit of culture from the islands, be it from New Zealand, be it from Samoa, be it from Tonga, Fiji. It's a wonderful part of the game, I believe.
Well, we're moments away from a start in this final game for these two teams, Canada and Tonga, winless coming to this final round. We have seen some thrilling tries scored. Matsushima, the right winger for Japan. Alapati Leua, who has been playing mostly in the midfield, will play tomorrow on the right wing. And Fukuoka, well, what a try he scored out on the left edge last week, one of the tries of the year so far. And we have been treated to some outstanding rugby in this year's Pacific Nations competition.
Yeah, we certainly have, and we've got this game first, but doesn't it set it up well for a final tomorrow between the US and Japan? That'll be some kind of football game tomorrow afternoon, evening. This one here also very important for these two teams. They may be winless in this competition, but as you know, both going to the World Cup, both have had plenty of changes, and they'll be looking to get their combinations down pat for what comes later on in the year. I suppose, Ken, when you look at these two sides as well, they come from far and wide. The Tongan side playing all over Europe and some in New Zealand and things like that, so it takes a while for them to get their combinations. That's why you would have seen in all three games there's sort of been massive changes in the starting lineup. They're working towards the World Cup, finding out what's the best combination to use. There'll be a trial process that the coaching staff will be working through. And as you mentioned, these guys are back in New Zealand in the not too distant future for a few more games before they head over to Japan for the 2019 World Cup.
Nigel Owens behind him, like Ben O'Keefe. Two of the world's most outstanding referees. Halo Nukunuka for Tonga, the tight head prop, well known in New Zealand and around the world. Halo Nukunuka has played a lot of Mitre 10 Cup rugby. And it will be Canada playing in black from right to left on your screen. As Gordon McGrory with the ball from the Calgary Hornets, and Canada gets play underway in this playoff for 5th and 6th. Takalua at halfback and Paia Fatununu with the first carry. Back to short side. Muffy. Takalua. So one pass rugby from Tonga through these first 4 phases, and now James Faivar with a midfield bomb. It's not taken on the full by Canada. Unfortunately, the ball is knocked on, so there's an advantage with Canada, and you see the pressure they're under for not taking that ball on the full.
Yeah, exactly right. Get out of jail free card a little bit for Canada there. They hoisted it high into the air to Tonga, and they all looked at each other and let it bounce, and here we go here. It could have been very, very dangerous. It just right in between them. Unfortunately for the Tongan team right there, a little knock on, so we'll come back for the scrum, but we all know you've got to diffuse those and take those on the full. Otherwise, the ball could go absolutely anywhere. Brought some beef back into their tight 5 to Sam Lousy is back in the middle row, so he's a welcome return for the Tongans.
Canadian halfback is Phil Mack, veteran of 60 tests from the Seattle Seawolves. As the first scrum is deep inside the Canadian half. And now to the line, Kieran Hearn. Mack left the ball at the back unattended, and Tonga claim it and immediately go on the front foot. Down the left edge, favour for Tonga. Now Takalua for Sam Lausi offloads the ball for Fatununu, and they're able to keep it alive. Lokatui steps out of the tackle of Fundamerva. Now Hala Nuka. They are putting some pressure on the Canadians. Tonga. Takalua. Ball goes behind Lokatui. And now Fifita. Takalua. Another short ball, this time Lausi. A mountain of possession for Tonga. Now a second man play, Pilto. Hello Whanua. They are building pressure nicely. Tonga. Now Noamo. Takalua gives the ball short. Then the offload and the tackle for Favour. This is great rugby from Tonga. It's 7 metres out. What a start, Lausi. At halfback. It's taken on the advantage line, and now Fatununu gets the ball away for Noama with some footwork. 5 metres out now, Tonga. They hold on valiantly in defence. Canada, Hala Nuka. 2 metres out. Now they drive again. They're less than a metre out. And a bit of width for Fatanu. No, just short. They've lost the ball.
What a show. They lost it early on, lost it last minute, but then you got to say a real show of strength from the Tongans early on. Here we go here. They just kept hammering away. Lokatui right back at the start. He was the one who got the turnover. And it might be Lokatui himself there who just tried to pick and go right at the end and turn it on. But show of strength from the Tongans early on. And it looks like they're going to put down a scrum in a very, very dangerous spot to try and defend from.
Sears Dudu, the loose head prop, just on the right of your screen. Eric Howard, the hooker. Big Matt Tierney, tight head.
It was a good even first scrum, second scrum of the game. Canada's ball, the first one, was nice and even. Tonga will be pretty happy with a stable platform here. Both sides of the field to work through and a massive right-hand blind. Feeds the ball held in the back by Capelli. Good scrum from Tonga. Now they march forward. There's a penalty advantage for Tonga. Powerful show of strength from their forwards. And surely if you're Tonga, you just set it down again. So you got one penalty. You just set the scrum down again and go again. You see here the penalty for just boring in, and says Dudu there. Just boring in, the scrum twists around. Good control by Tonga at the back of the scrum to keep it on. They draw the penalty, and now they've got another opportunity to potentially scrum again. Let's see what eventuates on this one here.
See Kapeli change positions. Takalua at the line. Shot ball. Halawhanua at the first try for Tonga.
It's always going to be a hard place to defend, and Halawhanua gets in. A simple little 8-9 play. Halawhanua hits it strong and hits it hard. And when you're only 4 meters out from the line, and the defense is on the back foot, was always going to be hard to stop from here. Here it is, good stable scrum. Little 8-9, Halawhanua, the guy shoots out of the line, and Halawhanua gets that space, gets that hole, and you're never going to stop him when he's running at this kind of pace. Watch the injection of speed. As soon as he gets the ball, it's lightning quick and over the line, and a very, very good start for Tonga. They had a difficult match against Japan last week, but a show of strength in more areas than one to start this encounter for Tonga.
It's good that space was correct. It's just working the setup. Every day's all good.
James Faiva from the village of Kotu.
Just really quietly. Maybe if you can try and turn your
Sonatane, Takalua. Taking the kick from the villages of La Paha and Maufanga. And of course very well known in Northland and New Zealand and Newcastle. Falcons in England. Takalua in a very handy position to turn the 5 points into 7.
Like the simplicity that Tonga have started the game with, rolling those big forwards in. As I said, they've got a few of their big boppers back, rolling the big forwards into the game, keeping things simple.
McGrory goes deep on the kick. Halawhanua bumps off Lesage. Now Leva Fifita. He said it was out. Nice read by Ardron. Very sharp work. Now Rumble, the open side flanker. Great steal from Ardron, and then they lose the ball forward off Shepherd.
Good read from Ardron at the back of the ruck there. They're going to need a few big plays from guys like that, from Ardron, from Olmsted, who's in the middle row as well. Last week against Fiji, they were outclassed a little bit. They've got a couple of their heavy artillery back, and they're going to need them to really step up in the big moments. But unfortunately for them here, it's just a fundamental mistake, just little bo peep and knocking the ball on as their first opportunity of this game goes begging.
Dropped off to the left side, where left side as we look at it. A reasonably smart play to get them outside of their own quarter.
Be interesting to see what Canada do from here also. You know, last week they were very close, very narrow with their attack. See if they stretch it a little bit further, a little bit wider.
apologise for. Just apologise for disruption too. Our pictures no change, so the score 7 points to 0. Nice try off the back line. Move started by Capelli and Tukalua, the 8 and the 9. And then Hala Whanua coming hard on to the ball for their first try.
It's been a very composed start for the Tongans, hasn't it? Everything they've done, they've just done with purpose. No hurry about what they're doing. Very hot, obviously, but no hurry in what they're doing. Very mechanical. When they wanted to shift, they've shifted. They've played a bit of one-pass rugby as well. They've picked and go through their sizable forward pack. So everything they're doing at the moment, they're just doing quite methodically and to the pace they want to play the game at.
Stable scrum. Hard onto the ball. Puto, the captain.
Well done, Lucas Rumble. Well done, the number 7 for Canada. He got off the scrum. There he is there. Number 7, he got off the scrum very, very quickly. Got over the top of the ball and just latched onto him. Watch him there. Number 7 in black there. Pietau goes down. Bang. He's in over the ball. Lokatui tries to get rid of him. A little bit high. Doesn't look that good for his knee, but very, very good from Rumble. Gives his side an opportunity they need to take with both hands. They drove a couple of times last week without success. Just feel for their confidence. They need to go well here. Perhaps put some points on the board. Start rumbling away.
Howard. Back of the line, that's a set piece, and a short ball. Well, Van der Merwe, they continue the drive and Rumble. Close to the ball in this opening 14 minutes, Rumble.
Yeah, very, very, very good. You saw Ardron drop off the back. He swings around the front, but I just see here, we just needed to come in field and just stay away from the sideline, protect the ball, and then perhaps get the big forwards to take over. Make Tonga defend like Tonga made the Canadians defend 5 minutes ago. But a very well-worked play. Just had to secure that ball and come in field. Rumble did his best to try and milk one. He's still not out of jail yet, Tonga. This is a hard place to scrum from, a hard place from exit. You got Pietau there, who looked like he might carry. Rumble, last time he did, Rumble turned him over. So danger not gone yet.
Pelly carries off the back to the open, away from the first defender. Needed McLaury to come in. There's a second tackler to stop him. Now Tukalua.
Good exit, and Capelli very good off the back of the scrum. Scrum was stable as stable can be. He just picks off, breaks one tackle, and gets him over the advantage line, and then a lovely little box kick to take him down to where we see now. Great exit, Tonga.
Eric Howard at the back of the line out again for Olmsted, and a good carry from Van der Merwe. Now Mack misses out 2 players for Luke Campbell. Now Mack lining up on the right side, and Kieran Hearn. Ardron. Now Mack.
So he had a penalty from an earlier infringement. Knock on Mack at the back base of the ruck. But they'll step up right in front of the posts and slot this one down the middle for some reward. They spent a little bit of time recently inside the Tongan 22. So good reward for them. I think that's the voice of Taylor Hodron. You can hear saying good pressure in the background. I tell you what, every time he touches the ball, he's just got that little bit of class about him, doesn't he? Just a step up in tempo. When he hits the ball at speed. There he is there in the background, just getting some water in. Very, very good footballer, the captain of Canada.
Problem for McGrory. 7 points to 3, their first visit to the Tongan 22, and they come away with some points. Good contest in the air. Nelson, hello Whanua, both eyes on the ball. Good take under pressure from Peter Nelson. Mac. Hello Whanua. Gordy calling the mark.
It's very hot here as well, but both teams just very interested in playing a little bit of field position. As that one won't go, oh yes it will, sorry, I thought it wasn't going to go out. But both teams interested in playing a little bit of field position, not interested in playing in their own half. As I said, conserving a little bit of energy.
Sione Vailanu coming on, and jersey 19 for Lokatui. Looks like he's struggling with a leg injury.
It's a disappointing loss too, because Lokatui started the game well and was very, very good last week against Japan. So that's a disappointing loss. The open side flanker for Tonga leaving.
No Amor for Fifita. And now Vailanu into the action early. Nelson coming through the air. Deserved to catch that. Nelson unfortunately didn't. Well, he got plenty of courage, Peter Nelson. Just the awkward landing.
It was a hard one to take because it kept on going away from him. He was coming towards the ball and it kept on going back towards the Tongan. But as you say, plenty of courage here. Unfortunately, just knocks it on. And then from here, the right idea. You can see what they're trying to do. They brought the wingers up. And they were just trying to roll it back in behind. Tukalua was trying to roll it back in behind where the wingers weren't, but unfortunately just charged down. And we'll start once again with a scrum.
Tangled up with Ben Lesage there as well. Obviously didn't know that Nelson was coming from the back. They got tangled up in each other, and as a result, it will be Tonga. Some with the scrum feed, some concern about Eric Howard.
It's also just, as I said, very, very hot here. So just a 20-minute water break, and for those who are looking on thinking, well, if it's so hot, why are they putting beanies on? Not that I'm down there, but I'm pretty sure those beanies have been in the ice buckets or something like that. So just trying to cool the core body temperature down. First 20 minutes of this one, Ken, is really just both sides haven't played a lot of football, feeling each other out a little bit. As we mentioned, there is heat there, so they don't want to play too much football, but really the game hasn't opened up yet. A lot of set piece, a lot of one-off running, some kicking from both sides, feeling each other out at this stage, 20 minutes into the first half. It's not ideal for the Canadians, so new hooker will have to come on. So hopefully nothing too serious, but it looks like a left knee injury for Howard, Eric Howard.
Benoit Fiddle plays in Blagnac in France.
And we're back to the scrum for the knock on by the Canadians off the high ball. Let's see what the Tongans have got. Good attacking opportunity, a big wide open spaces out to the left. They've been quite direct in their running so far. Let's see what they're going to produce for us this time.
So that's now Vailanu in the back of that scrum. There's another good show of strength from the Canadian scrum with a new front rower out there as well.
My side's good. Good contest, my side.
Yeah, it was. The scrum's been very even to date. On this side here, very, very good contest over this side here. And as you see, a couple of boys just popping up. And that's just due to the pressure that's coming through. So, new front rower on. Good old battle over here between loose head and tight head, that's for sure.
Sears Duru. Yes. Good scrum from Tonga. Ooh. Well, they were getting well beat in that scrum, Canada, so they can regard themselves as fortunate to get that penalty.
Yeah, I agree. Halanukunuku here for me. You watch him here on the tight head side. For me, he's the one going forward, and it says Dunu who's the one who turns around. Watch him wheel around, watch his hips. To me, he's the one who goes out. I think Tonga can be hard done by there, but well, they've got out of jail anyway, because that one, oh no, I thought it had gone dead, but no, it hasn't. A very, very good kick. Unlucky to be in this situation, the Tongans, but now we've got Canada 5 metres out. Last time they pulled a little trick play around the front. What do they got for us this time?
Fiddle throws to the back of the line out. They go to work. Olmsted now providing a bit of support. Olmsted as they try to use their short game to rumble the ball over from 5 metres out. Philip Mack looking at his options. Short for Sears Dudu, who just dives down in front of the defence. Now Olmsted. Great job from Tonga. Then the offload and the tackle. Now Takalua bounces the ball out. That is great defensive play from Tonga.
Yeah, it really was. Well done, Tonga. Just a pick go from Canada was just really static. It was just one off and a pause, one off and a pause. It didn't really trouble the Tongan defence. And then when it got a little bit messy, they got over the top of the ball, stole the ball, and then roofed it down the field to get the pressure out. So the Canadians just need to be a little bit more dynamic on their pick goes. That didn't trouble the Tongans too much as we see another injury. Fafita, something wrong with his left ankle.
Fafita now plays in Grenoble. Hails from Niafu. Some time playing in the Waikato as well. Luke Campbell was a late addition to the team. Originally he was listed to come from the bench, started, with the withdrawal of Bailey.
Richard Watt out there, the high vis for the Tongans, the Hurricanes, one of the Hurricanes forwards coach, the Tongan coaching staff.
Fiddle this time. The throw to the front of the line out. Mack. Nice job, Pakalani under some pressure, and now Vailanu, star of the French top league competition. Vailanu, 2 good carries since coming on from the bench. Pakalani again with some footwork. Thought about an offload. Now he picks up his captain, Pilto, inside the 22, Tonga. Now Takalua. They have a look down the left edge, Tonga. Good running from Hingano. Takalua. Faiva. Olmsted with the tackle. Pakalani at first receiver. Looking for some work, the winger. Short ball for Lolo here. Halo Nuka Nuka. Short hands. There's some skill from Tonga. Kapeli. Halo Nuka Nuka. Vailanu goes again. Nice at the line. Faiva. Now they're inside the 10. They shift. Vailanu steps out of the first tackle. Commits another 2. Another good run from Vailanu. Takalua. It's a penalty advantage. And now Kapeli. Takalua. Yeah, that's a great try, Tonga.
Well, Lola here scores it by Vailanu. He's got to have he's had a big part to play in this one. Some very, very good carries to get them over the advantage line. And then eventually Lola here, he's the one who puts it down. And here it is here. This is the way back. Good fend. They get in there behind the advantage line. Then they just shift to the right-hand side. Lola here, a little bit similar to the first try. When they get a little bit of space, they're very, very good, Tonga, and very hard to beat one-on-one. Here we go. They get in behind the advantage line. Good left foot, good left-hand fend. Get in behind, little snipe, and then bang, hits it nice and flat. A one-on-one tackle, and they go over for their second try, the Tongans. Quite direct in how they're playing today, Tonga. They slowly build, but then when it is time to pounce, they put numbers at the line. And they have some genuine impact when they hit the line.
Lolo here, and with a successful conversion makes it 14-3, but a very patient, very organised build-up. Dominated by big men running hard and straight. Oh, Canada, great take in the air. So they got the ball and field position straight away now. Sears Duru. Now Perfetto loses the ball. Tonga on another counter-attack. Faiva can't take the ball. Forcing Halai Whanua. So Vailanu, how prominent has he been? Takalua.
Yeah, did right, number 19 there, just in screen, Vailanu. He's there, man, there. He's had about 4, maybe 5 carries. Every single one of them have been top class. He's gone to the back of the scrum. And he's really puts an impact on in the game, the 10 minutes he's been involved in this one. And unfortunately, for Canada, a great take off the kickoff. And all the hard work, all the good work has been undone by a simple little knock on. And we'll go back to a set-piece scrum. It's an area they have been very good at exiting the area, Tonga, today.
Apologise wherever you're watching. Some difficulties we're having. We've got 100 people in white coats and glasses working furiously to fix it for you. Less than 10 to go for Tonga, 14-3 over Canada.
I'll tell you something for free, Ken. I'll stay well away from those computer stuff. I'll shut the whole network down.
Perfetto for Canada. It's a 5-man line out. Big Olmsted, the number 5, or the year he had for Auckland in the Mitre 10 Cup in New Zealand last year. Olmsted. Lock or blindside flanker. Gets high, the ball goes behind him. Takalua showed the ball, offloaded in the tackle. And Vailanu again. Big carry. Takalua, Faiva. Short ball, lovely ball. Ingano with a left foot step. What a build up. Vailanu was the genesis of that move. And Hingano gets it done.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when they push go, they certainly push go, the Tongans, don't they? They get a little turnover from the line out, and then from there we go here, straight into the Aquas. You think it's a loose forward at the back, but no, it's their vice-captain, the number 9. Lovely little offload. They keep pumping forward. Canada's always going backwards. No time to recover, and then a lovely little pass. Great hands here. Bang. Great hands, and then great hole running. Great little shimmy to the left, and that's number 3 for the Tongans this afternoon.
There's the line out that was missed. And this is a brilliant line outside in. They call it the courage line. The players, they spot a short hole and they run at it, no fear for their body. And that is perfect running from Hingano. And then that lovely in and away on the fullback. Great build up and a spectacular finish. Tour Hingano on your screen. Oh, Makonga, his family, in Tonga, and of course these days he's playing at Stade Francais in France. Very much a cosmopolitan look about this Tongan national team with all their professional players in leagues around the world. Took a lure with a kick in behind, and again Nelson. He's a good player, Peter Nelson. Now Mack.
One red offside. One red offside.
Inside ball. And now they go to work. Mike Shepherd.
He's got Whanunu here, number 1 for Tonga, offside at the ruck. So another knock on for the Canadians, but they will get the opportunity to come back and plug it deep into the corner. So as a ruck before, this is a little knock on there, just coming across on the inside and knocking it free. But they will get a penalty and a chance to go inside the Tongan 22. And perhaps set up a maul, set up a drive, or set up attacking raid from there.
Peter Nelson.
Can take a high ball, I'll tell you that much.
Perfero for Ardron, jumping at 2 in the line out. They work the ball to the back of the maul. It's Perfero with the ball now, but their maul is going lateral. Now they're going forward. This is better.
Lousey's got in there. I believe it's Lousey's got in there, but he's been adjudged to be coming from the wrong angle. But a good little maul from Canada. They kept pushing forward. As Ken said originally, they're going quite lateral. I believe it's number 5 there with his hands in the air there. He comes back around and then slips in through the side. So they got it going forward here, and they started looking. I don't know, that looks pretty through the middle, so maybe it's not him. I'm not sure. They've got someone anyway.
Ardron at the front of the line out for Canada. Mack.
important little stage in the game is you see just 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. You got to say Tonga has been far the better side in this half, but if Canada can put a bit of pressure on, they like the driving maul. If they can get a maul try, they can get a try of any description they can, you know, and go into the sheds at 19-10, all of a sudden the game's in a different story, a different position. Nuka. He's getting the right act laid down to him. He must have been the man who took Ardron early in the air. Piatel's just there as the captain, as is Ardron. Had a couple of drives, The last one was probably their most successful. They've tried a couple of times, little moves around the front. What have they got for us this time? Line out ball has been a little bit sketchy from time to time.
Ardron again, they're 2 in the line out. Philip Mack down a short blind side, and there's the try. Hassler. Oh, they were gifted penalties and field position, and eventually it's taken its toll on the Tongan defence as Canada get their first try.
That's exactly what they needed just before half-time. They set them all, the Tongans committed, and Phil Mack here, you see after they set them all, watch the little number 9 at the back there. He just spots that the Tongans are a little bit short down the blind side there. They start folding round, all of a sudden he sees this, he snipes out, draws the man, and then Hassler, he goes in, and this is just what the game needed, just what Canada needed going into the break, and all of a sudden the contest is back on. This is what a decent maul can do, can just make you commit. They've been warned already for collapsing the maul, so they all commit, they try and get the maul going backwards, and here, watch the little number 9 Mac. Lovely little draw and pass. Hassler, who comes from behind the maul, pops back out. And that's just what the Canadian team needed before half-time.
Oh, 3 tries to 1. Tonga ahead 19 points to 8 at half-time. If you just joined our coverage wherever you are around the world, this is week 3 of the Pacific Nations 2019. Tonga and Canada in the playoff for 5th and 6th. 3 tries to 1, half-time, 19 points to 8. Tonga over Canada, and we are in Churchill Park, Lautoka, Fiji.
Yeah, 2 different stories really. When Tonga have had the opportunity inside the Canadians 22 and they've pounced, they've really pounced hard and hit the line hard. Big men running short balls over the lines, under lines, and really putting a fair bit of pressure on the Tongan defence and really on the Canadian defence, and really the Tongans have been the better side throughout the whole first half. But just towards the end of the later stages of that first half, the Canadians started to get a little bit of field position. They got a couple of mauls going. They started to put Tonga under some penalty problems. And then all of a sudden, right before half time, they got a decent maul going, and then the Tongans all committed to the maul. They did a little snipe round the blind side, and Hassler there, he goes in to make it 19-8. And all of a sudden, for the dominance that Tonga have had in this game, the scoreboard does not quite show that at this stage. So there'll be some interesting chats on how they decide to take this on in the second half. You'd imagine that Tonga up until a couple of minutes to go till half-time. We're very happy with proceedings, but all of a sudden things have squared up a little bit. Be interesting to see how both sides attack this second half.
Vailanu. He was certainly a central figure in a lot of that attack from Tonga. They are enjoying themselves, young and old, wherever they are in Pacific nations.
Oh, look at that, territory 50-50. So obviously no difference whatsoever. The position, and I'd say that had changed around early on. Early on, Tonga had a lot of possession, as you see, time in 22. They had a lot of that in the first part of the first half. But Canadians have come back into a worrying sign for the Canadians, the 10 missed tackles that they've had, and the 3 line breaks which have led to 3 tries for the Tongans. And that, as we said earlier, that's from just big men running hard and straight onto the ball. And that's when they've really caused the Canadian defence a few problems. 19-8 at half-time, but a pretty even stat sheet other than the score. We'll take it to the break here. 19-8, the Tongans are leading the Canadians.
Well, it is indeed the paradise of the world, the South Pacific. And we always look forward to the Pacific nations every year. And a moderate crowd here today, but the crowds in Japan have been phenomenal. An opportunity to play games around the Pacific and the USA and in Canada. USA in particular, which is such an important market for our game, and of course Japan. We're under 50 days to Rugby World Cup 2019. Both these two teams will feature in the World Cup. It is very warm. Very modest and very humble surroundings for a number of these players. Canadian dressing room addressing an 11-point deficit. And some of the audience are more enthused than others. Churchill Park in Latoka. That's the main stadium here in Fiji is in Suva. The Fijian men's and women's sevens teams just in the last month won a gold medal at the Pacific Games, the 16th Pacific Games in Apia, Samoa. The population here in Fiji just under 1 million. Fiji have a team playing in the domestic competition in Australia with direct flights out of here, direct to Sydney. They have a team that plays in the NRC competition. Sam Lausi, Ben Tameifuna coming out for the second half. One of the dominant front rowers in the world game. Tameifuna started in New Zealand, now playing at Racing 92 in France as Canada. Come out onto Churchill Park for the second half. Well, there's stats that we showed you, not much difference, position and territory. The big difference is what Tonga are doing with their possession of the ball by comparison to Canada's.
Yeah, when Tonga hit go, they really do hit go. So they've been quite controlled, the Tongans, and how they've played the game, exited, done things at their pace. But when they get a sniff, they get in behind the advantage line and they get inside the 22, then they really do click into gear, and that's why they're leading 3 tries to 1 as we start the second half.
Favard for France, not taken cleanly, and then it's Sam Lausi with an offload out the back. Now Fifita. Takalua coming hard onto the ball has been Vailanu, who's turned this game around since coming from the bench. Vailanu, then they make an error. So Philip Mack at halfback, trying to sort some options. Now McGrawdy with the clearance.
That's an area that Tonga have been actually very good in. That one there, they turned it over with a knock on. But it's been an area that they've been very good at. When they get inside the 22, they up the tempo of the game and really start attacking through their big ball runners.
So no armour for Capelli. And now Puto carries into midfield. Vailanu. Onto the ball hard again as Hingano. Gee, runs a good line. Hingano breaks the line again. Tameifuna with a bit of ball play. Now Hala Whenua. Takalua. Good quick hands under pressure. That's Pakalani that goes to the ground. Lausi. The pick and go. Another short ball this time. Ololo here. Offloads again. Now they're inside the 5. Another offload. The try for Tonga. There it is straight away. Their continuity of play. And Talakai.
That's a carbon copy, really, isn't it, of the first half. As we mentioned, when they get inside the 22, they just push go. They get in behind the defensive line and they do not let the defense regroup. Here it is here. This is where Lausi's the one who starts it, gets in behind and gets a big mitt free, and they just keep coming on. They keep rumbling. Lovely little offload And you see the Canadian defence is always backtracking, and they just don't have the ability to catch up. And the Tongans go in for their first try of the second half, 4th of the match.
Takalua with another conversion, and that's Latu Talakai. His family from the village of Laimatua. He is on. Whanunu and Halanukanuka, the two props who started, have both been replaced by Talakai and Tami Ifuna. And Talakai's first touch is a magic one. Peter Nelson.
Nigel sub, 4 red off. Sub.
We haven't seen, as we see replacements come on.
So it's Leva Fifita who's been replaced by Daniel Faleafa in jersey 20. He will add some athleticism as well. Fifita's had a very good Pacific Nations tournament. Faleafa, similar player, good ball carrier, good hitter, and a very strong presence, especially in contact.
There's been an area of the game too that's been pretty hotly contested. I said a few new front rowers on now, but this is going to be an area of the game that the Canadians have, perhaps if anything, had a slight advantage towards the back end of the first half.
The Kingdom of Tonga, their history in the Pacific, and especially in their legacy of sport, what they've been able to achieve on a global scale given the size of their country, the geographical disadvantages that they have, not to mention the resources and climate change and everything they have to deal with. Phenomenal country, and their rise to power and prominence across a multitude of sports is impressive. As Mac, a little second man play, and then Hearn with a little chip on the ground, secured by Halafanua. Now Takalua with a decision to make. Kapeli goes forward. Now Takalua, good read by Ardron in defence, so they've turned the ball over. Oh, they've won it back. I thought that ball was going to be taken by Canada. They worked the ball to the back of the ruck. Takalua going to buy his time, buy his team some time and better field position.
Good pressure from the Canadians, keeping them down inside that left-hand corner. Now with an opportunity to launch off this one.
If the ball is still in the ruck and the hands are on it by the number 9, the ball is not out. If he uses the hands to get the ball back, then it's out, okay? So make sure you don't mix up the both, please. Use your feet to get it back. Unless it's one, fine. Time on.
Buffetto for Shepherd. And now playing at halfback is Rumble. They lost the ball.
2 knock on, lads. First is off Black because Red took the hand, knocked the ball. So first knock on Black, second Red.
It's just messy, isn't it? Right from the start, they didn't quite get their drive set properly. Then Rumble tried to go out to the side, was a little bit unsure. See, the ball gets stuck up quite high. Rumble tries to take off, is looking for the blindside winger. He was on the other side, didn't quite work. Was all a little bit clunky, and the end result is a knock on. Tonga's ball, Tongan scrum.
No, I am going to, it looks okay to me, but I'll have a look when you go down now, okay? For me, it looks good. Tight head, stay straight, please. Loose head, shoulders out to both of you, please. And that's good. Keep it out. Crouch. Okay, boys, let's go then, please. You just step back a bit, because you're too close, okay? Step back. Keep it there. Stay there now then. Keep the space. Second, keep the pressure. Crouch. Bind. Test. Hold it there, please. Good, keep it there.
Takalua. Vailanu from the back of the scrum and steps out of 3 tackles. Vailanu, what a game he's having. Offloads for Sam Laosi. Now Takalua. Little second man play. Now a long ball out to the left edge. Now hello Fanua. Gets away from the first defender. Takes 2 more to slow the fullback down. Talakai with another carry. Faiva.
They looked good there, Tonga, didn't they? When they just got going forward, and then as soon as they went forward, they went to the edge. And almost broke again, but unfortunately that one there just goes out on the full, and we take it back just outside the 22 with the Canadians line out. But as we've mentioned on many occasions today, when they decide to go, boy, do they go, the Tongans.
Dron is at 2 in the line out. Shepherd is at 3. And the target was Luke Campbell. And it's won by Sam Laosi. Ardron. Loose ball, Pilto.
He went up.
Holding on, that ball will be much quicker. Holding on.
Laosi's the man who gets penalised in here.
Watch your timing, let him land, please. Canada up and down.
Olmsted at the back of the 5-man line out, and now Mack got rid of the ball and got clipped at the same time. Now McLaury taken by Daniel Faleafa, and they've turned the ball over.
Unlucky for the Tongans there. Oh, hold on.
We're back, they were back 10, the tackler was 10. Vantage knock on.
It's Faleafa.
No advantage.
So they go back for the original knock-on against Canada. It was just a swarming defence of the Tongans. They kept coming forward, and unfortunately for the Canadians, they're quite isolated. They did draw a penalty for going over the top at ruck time. A quick tap and a knock-on. And that's why we've got a scrum 5 metres out. It's good to see though the Canadians trying to play a little bit up tempo. Here it is here. So unfortunately for the Canadians, just isolated there, and they just judged those men there, those three there, straight to ground. Judged to be sealing off the ball. Elsie's one of them. And then after that, there's a little knock on against the Canadians. So Tongans ball and scrum feed 5 metres out.
Siale Piutau, captain.
We saw what his message was, what he's gesturing with his hand signals. Let's go kick it down there. That's what they've done most of the day, to be fair to them. They've tried to play the territory game. The last time they tried to run it out, well, this is the first time they did that. So it'll be interesting to see how much control the captain's got. They might go straight from set piece. They might set one ruck up and then go long. It's generally what they've done. They do also have a nice little left-hand side blind here if their scrum is stable enough to use it.
No leaning in. Shoulders out, crouch. Fine. Okay, Canada. Do not lean in. There's plenty of gap. Charlie tackle rows, no leaning in. Stay where you were the last time it was good. Don't want any leaning in. Keep the pressure off you. Crouch. Fine. Set. Hold it there. Good. Keep it up.
Go Takalua. Stable scrum. Not much in the way of an angle. For Faiva.
Good little scrum battle though there, wasn't it? The ball was stuck in there. It wasn't coming back. New rules states that the number 8 is allowed to jump, reach in and grab the ball out. That's exactly what happened.
Stop. I'll do it again, yeah.
Yeah, a little 1-2 play at the front of the line. Now Canada. And the ball's gone forward.
And they pulled off a great escape there, the Canadians, didn't they? It was a lovely little 1-2. The halfback had been standing there for about a minute, waiting for the ball. And then the hooker threw it into him. Watch this, bang, draws in the other hooker. 1-2, down the blind side. Lausi gets across and cover. Unfortunately, that one there, little knock on there.
Great shot, Takalua. Sonatane, Takalua. Good ball and all tackle to force the error. Tough boy. Takalua does a lot of the hard stuff. Now Vailanu, this time for Piutau. Not held. They keep the ball alive. Now they shift to the right side where Halai Whanua will put Canada back in their own half. Now Nelson on the return. Inside ball. Hingano with the tackle. Now some momentum for Canada. Shepherd. McCordy. And a hooker to Fedor. Mac. Sears Duru. And Mac. The ball on the inside. Nelson. Now Lesage. Philip Mack. Oh, Nelson tried to tip the ball on quickly for Fundamover.
It's good to see, though, from the Canadians using a little bit of width, bit of ball play. And if that last one had gone to hand, they were down that left-hand flank. And potential to stretch the Tongan defence even further. That to me has got to be the template. I know it goes against perhaps their natural game. They've got to try and speed the game up on these Tongan boys. There's some big hits in here, though, aren't they? They come off the line. Good second man play there on the ground. And then they spread it again to the left. Eventually gets there, a few offloads. And then, unfortunately, this one here. So they go one more down the short side, bang. This one goes to hand. There's a little bit of space down that left-hand edge.
So Leon Fuka is coming on for Tonga. Matt Heaton, there he is in jersey 20. And Connor Keys in jersey 19 for Canada.
You're all ready, then we can go. Good, thank you. Time on.
No Armour. Four-man line out. Lausi at the back. Now Fuka. Another very physical presence in the halfback position. Then Tamu Ifuna. Another terrific take from Nelson. He's driven over the touchline. But he's got plenty of ticker, this boy playing 15 for Canada.
It's not the first time he's gone up in the air, is it, and taken a very, very good high ball. You see here, plenty of pressure, good little blocking line as well. Unfortunately for him, just very good kick. Was nice and close to the sideline. The Tongan boys came through and bundled him into touch.
Time out. Tonga, number 10 and number 12, sub, please. Who's the captain out, right?
Faiva and Puto
Who's the captain, boys?
are done
You.
for the day.
Time on.
Fosita and Vuna on for Tonga. Kupa Vuna straight away handles the ball.
Lost now. Contested well, then lost.
It's Kupa Vuna now at halfback. Fuka. Oh, nice. Fosita, very smooth first touch of the ball. Fosita. Fuka. Oh, tough. Yards and then the offload and the tackle. Tonga. Good defense from Phil Mack. So now Canada, some time with the ball. Mack down the left edge looking for some space. Olmsted.
Clean out's fine.
Get out to there, number 9. Number 9.
It's Philip Mack. Legitimate clean out.
There's a little bit of frustration by Mac, I think, more than anything.
Be quiet, please.
Just wanted the ball quickly, a little bit of frustration to the service.
There's a lot of scattering on here, no need. That clear out was legal, and
Tamia Funa.
nothing illegal. I suggest you leave it, but we don't cause any issue. I don't want to hear you
He's the
again.
guy with a shot that's legitimate, that's allowed. He's over the ball.
Good work, Nigel. Agree with you. Perfect.
Terrific officiating as well.
Tackler, you're lying on, move please. Mark is there. Number 9. Well good, he's very lucky that's not reversed.
Seen a little bit of it so far in the second half, the Canadians. Probably goes against their natural game, but just need to pick up the tempo a little bit. As you know, the Tongans are big men,
9 black off.
heavy men,
9 black off.
and at the moment they've controlled the tempo of this game. If Canada has a chance to regain this deficit, I feel they need to go up tempo a little bit. First things first, though, they've got to win the line out.
Ardron. Now the drive from Canada, and they've got good momentum there inside the 5.
Ball now is available. Stay, boys, stay.
Finding it tough to get a clearance. Faleafa with a tackle.
Advantage, jumping the gun offside, lads.
It's Vailanu. So there's a penalty advantage for
Offside.
Canada.
Red. 13 red. Offside.
And the ball in the air, and the good try out on the right side for Parfrey.
You know, whatever you both got. The try is good for you, and the try is good with you. The try is good, lovely, thank you.
Here we go, we've just checked, it's a little bit opportunist, we weren't sure. Ball sort of bobbled around it a little bit, but Parfrey gets the points. Patrick Parfrey, he gets their second try for the Canadians for the afternoon. Said it came off the back of a driving maul, they're under penalty advantage for offside. Then a lovely little kick out to the outside. I thought it was misweighted, but wasn't taken cleanly. And here it was anyone's ball, and it was a race. And Patrick Parfrey in the 23 jersey, he's the man who claims it and grabs Canada's second try for the afternoon.
From Toronto Arrows, Patrick Parfrey hasn't been on that long. Been a lot of action for Canada out on that right wing today. No luck for Gordon.
Nigel sub
McCarty.
3 red off.
There it is again here. As I said, just wasn't taken, going for the mark, wasn't taken cleanly, goes over the top.
Nigel
And the ability to just keep working on the inside and
substitution,
gets the
3
spoils
red
for it.
off.
Set.
Now Tumi Musita goes deep on the restart. Good defense from Pakalani. Bit of pressure, but they get the kick away and then lose the ball forward.
Knock on by Black.
Now for Sitar from got an advantage anyway. Tonga, Kofoka. The pressure, they improve their position. Elvis Taione is coming on for Meile Nauamo from Vaini and Kolomotua Nauamo, and replaced by Elvis Taione, who spent some time at the Western Force and in the same area as well. Kolomotua, Taione and Nauamo.
A little bit of confusion. The training staff and also the players think it's a 20-minute water break, and it wasn't at all. The captain's just been asked to speak to their players. So everyone's ushered back off the field.
So Taione looking for Laosi, and the ball is won again by Vailanu. Now into the backs where they get some momentum going forward from Kupavunu. Another good run from Talakai, running like a centre, the front rower. Now offloads for Kapeli. Keep going, Kapeli's inside the 5. Tameafuna's over the top, Fuka. And it's going to be missed. The attempted intercept.
We've got some pay out of their reserves that have come on, the Tongan reserves. Talakai, another one, not for the first time today. Here he is, big charge. This is one-on-one, boom, gives him the bump. He can't handle him either. And then genuinely good speed, looking around, no one to throw it to, and then all of a sudden someone pops up and they just keep the ball alive. And they keep rumbling forward here. Unfortunately for the Tongan side, they just couldn't put the ball into the right man's hands and nearly an intercept, but they have got some really good pay out of their impact players, the Tongans today.
Isn't it a very fine line these days between what represents a sin bin and what represents a knock-on? I mean, how many times exactly the same circumstances we've seen a penalty try awarded. On this occasion, we can see just a possession. Don't have a problem with the decision myself, but there have been other times in the past where we would think that the treatment of exactly the same player has been a tad harsh. With players sin bin and penalty tries awarded, and on this occasion, a scrum, which by the way I agree with. So Fuka. Vailanu, what a presence he's brought to this game, Vailanu. At the back, offloading the ball with a no-look pass off the ground for Sita. And now Lolo here, from a long way behind the advantage line, tries to get his team going forward. Now Vailanu again. Now Muffy, going to be tackled on the 5, Muffy. Now Elvis Taione, he's inside the 3 now, Taione. Fuka, short, a good, hard, straight running. Referee says short. And the try's awarded. It looked like Vunu coming in at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Was going to get it originally.
Yeah, I'm not sure who it is has scored the try. But I tell you what, it's been the same story for the Tongans. Once they get in behind, they just keep trucking away. That's Cooper Vuna there, who goes smashing over, and he must have got very, very close. And then here it is here, we just pick it up and right next to the posts, and we're not going to stop him from there. Something the Tongans have been very good at. Once they get on top of you, they keep rolling on. And and they get the job done again here close to the line.
Vailanu, I think.
Yeah, that's who it is. Yep.
Well, if anybody deserves a try, it's him. Vailanu. Here's the starters. 33-13, they've done their job. Deficit is 20, so it's 21 points. In around about 10 minutes. Very, very big call, I have to say. Having said that, we've all seen some interesting things in rugby as Tonga from the kick return. A little no-look pass, they turn the ball over, and now Puffrey. The numbers down the left edge, Fundamerva. He's going to hit straight back.
What did you just say, Ken? Anything's possible.
Make that deficit. I said 20, make it 15.
He says anything is possible, and from the kickoff there, you thought, oh, here we go. When he had Cooper on his right, we thought, oh, here we go. The Tongans are going to streak away and score. All of a sudden, a little knock on. And Vandermerva, he's in at the other end. Here we go, break, great break. Kubavuna comes in, he comes to the right-hand side here. But the pass doesn't go to hand. They scoop it up, one pass, they go down the field, and then they draw the last man. Vandermerva there, he streaks away 23, 24 metres. And all of a sudden, the deficit is 15 now, and the Canadians get their third try of the afternoon. Had many easy opportunities today. I don't remember him getting one from anywhere close to the posts. All his kicks have been from out wide. That's where the Canadians have scored their tries today, all out wide. And here it is, here's the breakout. And this is how rugby can change. All of a sudden, life is good for Tonga. One little loose pass, one little drop ball, all of a sudden, the amount of tries that are scored from turnovers in rugby, and here's another one. And the mover gets a third.
So about 8.5 now. For Canada. Elvis tie on net. Nice job from Ardron, hasn't he? Had a good game today. Now Luke Rumble. A little second man play, and Canada open them up again. The offload, Parfrey's looking at a hat trick. Offloads the ball to Hessler. Takes the fullback on the outside. That is great rugby from Canada. Here they come, make that deficit 10.
Oh, that is their try of the afternoon, the Canadians. Very, very good. Turnover at line-out time from their captain. And then they just switch. They put it through the hands. They go back door. They chop inside and they go through. Two defenders are just from here. That's just lovely hands. They draw the last line, and Hasler, he streaks over for another one out wide for the kicker, but it doesn't matter, they're in again. That is some try for the Canadians.
If there's an obstruction here, there's the second man play. Yeah. Not commented on by any of the officials, so the try's been awarded. It looked like a matter what I say, the try's been awarded. They've dropped the deficit down to 10. Kick. Well, 33-23. When they were up by 20, you would think that they were comfortably home, Tonga. Somebody forgot to read the script of the Canadians, have hit back with back-to-back tries. Now Canada score next, and we're up for a thrilling finish. Return, another missed tackle from Tonga on Fundamerva. Good defence. Good defence from Tonga. Aggressive. They have to shift again. Again, they're going to the right edge where they've been so good today. Canada. Hassler. Back off the right foot. Looking for the quick recycle. Now Heaton on the move. Murphy with the tackle. Heaton. Short ball. Yeah, that's McLaury at halfback. Now, again, they're good on the edge. The tackle from Bakalani. The recycle from Canada. They march forward, Canada. Art Dryden, the captain. McLaury. Now Nelson playing a 5'8". They've opened them up again, Canada. Here they come down the right edge. The pass missed its mark.
And the game has come alive. I like this from Canada. I didn't see it. I didn't know they had it in them. All of a sudden they've had to play. There might be a little obstruction there too, but don't worry about that. But the game has come alive, and unfortunately here, was that touch there? I'm not sure. But the game has certainly come alive.
It was touched by Tongan player, then a Canadian player. That's what it looked like to me, which would have made, I would have thought, the first touch by the Tongan player a knock on. Not a line out. If it's a knock on, that means it's Canada's feet at the scrum. If it's a line out, it will be Tonga's throw, ruled to have been touched last by Canada. So in the context of the game, I'm sure this ball was knocked on by a Tongan player, then touched by a... We're going with a line out by the looks.
It's good to see the skill set of the Canadians though, isn't it? To be honest, I didn't know they had it in them. All of a sudden the game looks gone. They've got to play a bit of East-West rugby, and they do it really, really well. Throwing the ball out the back.
The ball won and then lost forward by Canada.
No, Canada! Keep it up!
Ardron here again. He was the one who turned the ball over at line-out time for their last try. At that time he got up again, put pressure on. Unfortunately, little knock on. Tonga scrum feed.
Keith on the side. Keith. Fiddle.
Here we go, Black. Hold the weight, boys. Hold the weight. Go! Let's go, boys! 8.
Biden's in the front row. So this game is here to be won now. Just a 2-score equation for Canada. Converted try. The next couple of minutes, and receive the ball from the kickoff. Anything can happen.
Tonga won't be too concerned that this scrum is taking a long time to get set as the clock ticks down.
Crouch. Down. Check wing coming in. Fine. Lolo, Pepper. Set.
Off the back again, Vailanu. It was a tough scrum to get some momentum. Now the ball's been turned over. Canada, they're on the left edge. They've got control now. The ball, fun to move up. Close to the touchline, coming on the inside. Now McCordy. Viliami, Lolo here.
Again, they turn the ball over, then they go to width. We didn't know. They've got some genuine pace out there and skill. Does very, very well to stay inside the field of play. Recycles the ball. They go back. And unfortunately for the Canadian side there, just rushing through. And a little knock on, and it brings the play to a standstill with 1.5 minutes to go and still 2 scoring plays needed for the Canadians.
Note about the referee, Nigel Owens. That's 2 decisions in the last 10 minutes that he's made that could equally have been made in another direction, which would have had a direct consequence on the result of the match. On both occasions, he's opted to go with the scrum. He has a feel for the game and an understanding of where it's at that is significant in my view. We're all well aware of referees on 2 occasions with those balls that have been went down attempting intercepts, where a sin bin and a penalty try could easily have been awarded. Would have been unfair, but the rule's the rule. That's why Nigel Owens has the reputation and status he has as one of the top officials in our game. Are drawn off the back, a little 8-9 play, an inside ball. Big defence this time from Vailanu, who's been so good with the ball. And now Olmstead, 30 seconds. Now McLaurie with a little short ball. Kupavunu comes away with the ball. Tonga now just need to keep control and run the clock down. They've turned it over. Canada going to go at them again. Heaton steps away from 2 defenders before Kapeli makes the tackle. Now McCrory. They're going to run out of time. Tonga is Parfrey. 2 tries from the bench. Great contribution. Heaton with a grabber kick along the ground. And the ball kicked over the touchline by Hala Whanua.
Looks like they're going to get one more shot. There we go again. They've found some real joy down this left-hand edge. Keep fighting, good clean out, and they just see a little bit of space due to the clean out. I'll pop down here. I thought, oh, what's he doing? But a nice little kick ahead. Hacked into touch. And then a line out, 5 metres out for the Canadians. Here we go.
Olmstead. A little short side play, out drawn in between 2 defenders. Got the ball away in the tackle. That's untidy, but they try and keep it alive. McCrory. Tackled on the 5 metre line. Keith. Well, they've shown more enterprise and more innovation in the last 10 minutes, Canada, than they have in the entire game. Using the ball, trying to put plays on down the edge. State the obvious. When they do that a bit more, they're going to be a bigger threat at the World Cup. There's no question about that.
Yeah, definitely. So I suppose it's a little bit of a shame, if anything, that they've waited till the game's nearly dead to show what skill that they have got. They're very conservative in their approach for the first probably 65 minutes. All of a sudden, when the game was gone, they started to throw the ball out the back and their backs started to play. They started to look very good with ball in hand. So for a spectacle side of things, it's just a shame that they didn't back their skills a little bit earlier in the contest. And as we've seen, they've started to give the Tongan defence a few problems once they've started to use their behind the play balls and stuff like that. So encouraging signs, but yet probably disappointing for this spectacle, but encouraging signs for the Canadians.
Drawn with a quick tack, goes at the line. Now the drive, he's on his back. He's held up. So that's it. The first 65 minutes of the game well and truly belong to Tonga. This is the final play, Drawn. Going hard at the line and then turned on his back and not able to get the ball down. The referee ruled it's held up. And a very, very good performance. Tonga, a thoroughly deserved 33-23 win over Canada. Well, he's been outstanding, Tyler Ardron. Disappointment for whom he's had a phenomenal year in 2019 with the Chiefs in the Super Rugby competition back in New Zealand. He will be a feature at the World Cup for the Canadian side for sure. Can play blindside flanker, number 8, or lock forward. He's a versatile player, good in the lineouts as we saw again today. An inspirational leader for his team. And we sure saw some signs at the end of this match just how good Canada can be when they're prepared to use the ball. Strong contributions from Parfrey, got a double. Hassler, he got a double as well. Their 4 tries scored by both their wingers. That will be an indicator of just how much depth they have in their team out wide. Standing by for Tyler Ardron today, playing his 35th test from Lakefield in Canada. He's played his professional rugby at Bay, plenty Ospreys and the Chiefs, and today's captain.
Tough
Canada.
day for Canada today. I'm sure they do not play in these sort of conditions. How tough was the game?
Yeah, it was pretty tough. A few tackles slipped off, and that was probably the difference in the end, so pretty disappointing.
And it was good to see that Canada made a late surge in the second half, scoring 2 tries in the end.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think we've probably finished some games quite well lately, but the first half hasn't been the way we wanted, and we'll definitely have to work on that before we get to the World Cup.
So a tough Pacific Nations Cup. So what positives have you taken out ahead of the World Cup?
Lots of time to get the guys together and run through the systems and get to know each other a bit better has been the main thing.
Thank you, and good luck for World Cup.
Thank you.
Tyler Ardron, very dominant today. The back rower, Siale Puto, captain of Tonga.
Siale, first of all, congratulations. Good comeback for Tonga after 2 losses. I believe today you guys were just enjoying the atmosphere and, of course, the game.
Yeah, for us, obviously we've been working hard the last 4 weeks, so definitely well deserved by the boys, obviously, to come out and get the victory. But you know, there's a lot that we can learn from this, and there's a lot that we're doing to build towards that Rugby World Cup.
So what sort of improvements you are looking at, and what's on from here?
I think for us, you know, we're just trying to get fitter, get stronger, obviously to try and compete with those Tier 1 nations. And I think for us now, we've got a bit of downtime before we meet up next week and prepare for Fiji, New Zealand, and then off to the Rugby World Cup.
Thank you and good luck.
Cheers, thank you very much.
It's 31st of August. Fiji and Tonga will play in the Pacifica Challenge. That game is at Eden Park in Auckland and will be live around the world. And in the end, we had a very entertaining game.
Yeah, we certainly did. And as you see, the Canadians there, they came out on top territory and possession-wise, and also time inside the 22 as well. So they really came back into the game, didn't they? I suppose when you look at the things that probably let them down a little bit, those missed tackles, and that was just when the Tongans did spend some time inside the 22, they really started to get their big ball carriers hitting the line and hitting the line hard. So at the end of the day, the missed tackles inside the 22 were probably the difference between the two sides. But a very spirited game and a great comeback from Tonga. And as you said, Ken, they started to play some East-West rugby, which was a very promising side for the Canadians.
Mr. Jones, what positives and what will be your assessment as far as the Pacific Nations Cup was concerned? What have you taken out from this year's competition?
Well, there's lots of learning for us. We've grown in many areas throughout the competition. Set piece particularly, I thought we were quite competitive today. Competed with a big, strong physical side at set piece. Unfortunately for us, we take 2 steps forward in one thing and we take 2 steps back in the other a little bit. The game is about collisions, and today we lost the collisions massively, obviously against a good Tonga side who ran directly at us. I'm pleased with our players. We fought back, we stayed in there, and we've left quite a few points out there as well, which you know, certainly I'm not saying we would have won the game, but it would have brought us a lot closer. So there's some positives there. We found out a lot about ourselves and some of the players, and the gelling the team has had to do on and off the field has been really worthwhile. So it's excellent for us to be able to play in these 3 games. Now we'll move forward into a couple more games before we obviously head down to Japan in September.
I believe Irish club, Leinster and USA is next for your build-up game. So how ideal will be that preparations heading into the World Cup, and what will be your priorities?
Well, the challenge is now making sure we get some continuity and we get their selections right. As a few guys put their hands up today, and so we need to make sure we get the right combinations playing together in those next 2 games, heading into our first game, of course, which is Italy. So, yeah, big month still remaining for us in terms of our preparation. And I thought, you know, some of our leadership groups stepped up today and came through in the last 20-30 minutes. The pressure we put on the set pieces there at the end of the game as well was excellent. So we've got lots to build on. But yeah, the biggest thing we need is to make sure we manage those collisions.
Good luck for the World Cup.
Thank you.
It's definitely a collision sport, which is why we all love it. Big, athletic men charging at each other in a contact sport. There's Richard Watt just to the left, assistant coach of the Hurricanes, and Siale Puto. And now the coach of Tonga, Tautai Kefu.
Mr. Kefu, you must be satisfied coming out with a win in the final round of the PNC.
Yeah, it's good to finish on a good note, but you know, plenty of things to work on.
Your next opponent will be Fiji, I believe, as far as the World Cup build-up is concerned, and then you've got a World Cup All Blacks. So what preparations are you looking into it?
We actually got a game before the Fiji game in Tonga. So look, we just need to keep chipping away at stuff. You know, as you can see from that game, there's a lot of things that we did wrong there tactically. So yeah, we can definitely get better.
So what are some of the key areas that you will be focusing on?
I think disciplines. We start there first. We gave away far too many penalties. allowed them to stay in the game.
Thank you and good luck for the World Cup.
Thank you.
Well, Wallabies and Queensland Reds, legendary player he was. Tautai Kefu, of course, a Rugby World Cup winner himself in 1999, where he was a prominent part of the Wallaby team. And we saw some signs today that Tonga, they don't need to have much ball to be effective or to make an impact in the game. We saw that in some of their tries.
Yeah, they certainly did. Just big men running hard and fast. And Halafanua gets them underway with that one there. And then this one here is just a little fan, gets him behind. And Lola here, almost a carbon copy, just a different number on the back. He crashes over as well. Then they get on top, they play him behind. They keep the ball alive, some great little interlinking play, and then they keep coming. Don't let the Canadian defence regroup. Then a hard line by Hingano, and then he crashes over for what? 3 similar tries, really. This one here, this is Canadians' only try of the first half, and it's right before the break. And Hassler, some good little heads-up play. This is the story of the game for me. This is the Tongan boys inside the 22. Just punching away, and then they draw another one. But the Canadians, they had a real run for it at the end here. The ball goes loose, it's all over the place, and then Parfrey there, he's just following up on the inside and jots that one down. Kupavuna smashes over next to the post, just to be denied by Vailanu. He gets over and puts the ball down there. Straight from the kickoff, we think, oh, here the Tongans go again. Unfortunately, this pass doesn't go to hand. The ball is switched over. A couple of lovely little passes here, and Van der Merwe, he streaks over, and all of a sudden the game got a little bit more interesting as they started coming back. There could have been an obstruction here. We don't worry about that. It was good to see the Canadians get along, and Hassler, he then puts a bit of pace on, and he gets over in the corner for their best try of the afternoon for the Canadians.
So it will be the Kingdom of Tonga who will finish in 5th position in 2019 Pacific Nations, and Canada in 6th position. And it will be Japan and USA in the final tomorrow. And Samoa and Fiji will play after in the battle for the bronze. So 6 outstanding teams that have given us 2.5 weeks of a very impressive rugby. The best is still to come with the big final tomorrow. Thank you, and we look forward to your company tomorrow, where Japan play USA in the final.